Man, there is a major story that is picking up steam. You have a former Browns player giving up some keen inside information about things he experienced with the Cleveland Browns organization and Jimmy Haslam. This does not spell good for the Cleveland Browns. The story's picking up a lot of heat, man. Welcome to Keep the Vision. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share the channel, hit that bell notification to hype the video. Let's get right into things. So we already know Johnny Football, Johnny Manziel. He had a special guest, former number 4 pick, first round draft pick by the Cleveland Browns, Trent Richardson. They had a conversation, and here it says Trent Richardson reveals what bothered him during his tenure with the Browns. Now, I will say before I even get into this, Trent Richardson will be considered a bust out of the University of Alabama. Did he have a few productive years? Yes, but overall, he was a top 5 pick at the running back position, and he's viewed as a bust. I just got to keep it real. Here it says, whenever an NFL draft is coming up, fans inevitably look back on the mistakes their favorite team has made. Unfortunately, the Cleveland Browns have more than their fair share of busts to discuss. Here it says, one of the most noteworthy is Trent Richardson. In the 2012 NFL draft, the Browns traded up one spot to the number 3 pick to select the Alabama running back. Oh, I thought he went number 4. My bad. Giving the Vikings the number 4 pick and 3 late round selections in the deal. So they moved up to get him at number 3. They reportedly did so because they were afraid another team was going to trade up ahead of them to draft Richardson. Afterward, ESPN analyst John Gruden said the Browns solved some major problems today. However, Richardson's problems were just the beginning. He recently revealed that multiple coaching changes made by the Browns bothered him during his tenure with the team. And he was quoted as saying, "I didn't have a problem with Cleveland. When they started doing all of the coaching changes and stuff like that, it was like, what are we doing? Who's going to be in control of this?" Richardson said. Pat Shurmur was Richardson's first NFL head coach in 2012, but he was replaced by Rob Chudzinski the next year. 2 games into that 2013 season, Richardson was traded to the Indianapolis Colts for a first-round pick in the following draft. Notably, Chudzinski lasted just that season and was replaced by Mike Petnay. Here it says, perhaps it wasn't the coaching changes after all, with Chuck Pagano leading the Colts in each of his 2 seasons. Richardson was released following the 2014 campaign and never played in the NFL again. Despite the negative perception surrounding his time in Cleveland, Richardson did produce in his limited time with the Browns. In 17 games, he rushed for 1,000 yards, 11 touchdowns, and caught 58 passes, but his 3.5 yards per carry average was more pedestrian than his draft status deserved. Richardson exchange about his time with Cleveland was with none other than Johnny Manziel, another all-time Browns draft bust. The Heisman Trophy winning quarterback was the 22nd overall pick after the Browns used the 26th pick acquired from the Colts for Richardson as part of the deal to trade up to select him. Now the Browns will try to avoid similar mistakes in this year's draft, hoping to build on a successful class from 2025. So this is just kind of him keying in on some of the dysfunction that has gone on with the Browns for quite a long time now, quite a while. And hopefully with Todd Monken in now, Shedeur Sanders is able to have some more sustainability. But this is just Trent Richardson being honest about the dysfunction that has been Jimmy Haslam's Cleveland Browns in a dysfunctional building that it's been over the years. This is dating back to 2012, y'all. Going back to 2012. We got all the way up to 2025, and we watched Kevin Stefanski sabotaging people. It's a long time that building has been out of order, and hopefully Todd Monken can get things under control. That was Trent Richardson and Johnny Manziel on that situation. Let's take a listen to my man Earl the Pearl as he talked about the defensive coordinator situation, man. It appears Jim Schwartz is looking ahead to the Las Vegas Raiders. Okay. I don't know if Jimmy Haslam's just going to allow him to walk that easy. Something's going to have to get done. But the Cleveland Browns are going to be looking to either elevate someone from within, or they have to make their defensive coordinator hire from outside the building. Let's take a listen to my man Earl the Pearl.
But we go back out to the Make It Right Call Kyle Wright hotline, and we bring in my homegirl Cameron Justice, the Emmy Award-winning Cameron Justice from News Channel 5. How are you? Good morning.
Good morning. You always hype me up real well. Let me thank you for that. Thank you so much.
I feel like Steve Harvey, and this is like the sports kings and queens of comedy, and I'm tasked with bringing all the big stars out. So I got to make sure that you get your proper cred, man, because you are a woman that holds it down in the city of Cleveland. All three sports, you're very vast in it, and you always are on the go and all the grind. So it's always important to give people their flowers, man, while they still above ground.
I appreciate that. You have no idea.
Thank you. So I talked about the Browns hiring Byron Storer as the new special teams coordinator. Talk a little bit about his background and what went into that decision for Todd Monken to make that his choice.
Well, I think, first of all, you want to have somebody who has experience, right? And you don't – that's a hard one to promote within. It happens sometimes, but you want somebody that has done it. And Todd Monken said that he wants an elite staff. So, you know, he's been on successful teams. He's been around the league for some time. And that's exactly what you're looking for. You're looking for a guy that has done it, and he's played. So that's to have playing experience and coaching experience. It's twofold, I think, for me. And special teams, obviously, we saw was a huge struggle for the Browns last season, and you know, you lose your special teams coordinator. Was probably leaving anyway, right? It doesn't matter if he took a Rams job or not. That was just such a struggling unit. It felt like a position, a coaching position that needed to have a change regardless. So for Storer, I think having background, having experience will be huge for this team. It's going to make it a little bit easier, I think, for them to lay some concepts down. And a player coach always, I think, usually makes it a little bit easier because it's easier to relate. It's like Bubba Ventrone. And Bubba had success as a special teams coordinator, in Indianapolis. It's why he came here. So I think if you can get that kind of productivity, that's what you're looking for out of that unit.
Good morning, Cameron. It's James. The Browns are still looking for a defensive coordinator. Is them wanting to stick to the same system a hindrance to finding a guy maybe that's outside of the organization, or has that not been really a hurdle that they've experienced? I
mean, it certainly could be if you look at what they're trying to do, and that has to come into play, the understanding, the grasp. I asked Jerome Baker at the Greater Cleveland Sports Awards, like, how hard is it to actually run this system, this scheme, if it wasn't going to be Jim Schwartz? That was the day before he handed in his letter of resignation, but obviously it didn't feel as if he was returning. And Jerome Baker said, listen, it's hard, but it's also easy. There's the concepts are there, but we have a really good defense and we have a really good scheme. And so it's not going to be cut and paste. I think that is a true statement. I think that there could be certainly regressions if you get the wrong guy that doesn't really understand what was going on and try to operate it, because it feels simple, right? Like, crash the line, be chaotic up front, and it should work. But obviously with any coaching system and scheme, there are nuances,